Welcome to Red Story. Please subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoy the plot. 2.5 years ago, I found myself in a difficult financial situation, so I sold my house to save my business. However, I didn't tell the new owners that there is an underground shelter on the property, covering 800 square meters, which I built about 7 years ago. This shelter became my home after I sold the house. The entrance is well hidden, and I come and go only in the early morning or late evening hours. I lead a rather secluded life and do not socialize with neighbors. Now I have an opportunity to move, but I'm very attached to this hidden place. I am fluent in 2 languages, and when I needed to write an essay, I would find information on the topic in my native language, translate it into English, and submit the work. No one ever accused me of academic dishonesty. Many people in Europe do the same. About a year ago, I cut all ties and moved to another country, where I started a new life under a different name. My family believes I died in a sea voyage. Yes, it's true. In their eyes, I no longer exist. When I was 8 years old, every summer my parents sent me and my brother to relatives who lived in a village. They had several sons, and we had a lot of fun together. One day, the oldest brother suggested I spend the night in his room. I was 8 years old and saw nothing strange about it. We talked, and he suggested different games, which I now realize were inappropriate. This continued for several years, but later I understood that it was wrong and stopped it. Now he is married with children, and I have a family too. We see each other at family gatherings, but I don't know how to bring this up with him. Once I helped a friend's family take care of their pet. Every day for a week, I would visit their house and sometimes browse through their books and records. I accidentally stumbled upon my friend's diary and read it. This helped me understand her better, and eventually, she became my wife. Although I now feel a bit ashamed of this, I have never told anyone about it. When I was 13 years old, I found myself in a difficult situation that greatly affected my life. I was at a party where I was put under a lot of pressure and felt very bad. I tried to talk to friends about it, but they did not support me, and it left a deep mark on my soul. Since then, I have been unable to trust people for a long time and felt lonely. I once pretended to have an education that I didn't actually have. I couldn't handle the pressure and decided to create fake documents. This helped me get a job, but now I'm afraid that the truth may come out. I work at a prestigious company and try to do my job at a high level, but the fear of exposure never leaves me. When I was 17 years old, I had an argument with my father and spoke harshly to him. Later that evening, he took his own life. I still feel guilty about our last conversation and live with this feeling every day. He left no message, and I can't forget that our last words were filled with negativity. My friends think I have a good job and live with roommates, but in reality, I've been in a difficult life situation for over a year and had to work in a place where I never wanted to be. I hope that over time, my life will improve. I work in it, and I'm amazed at what people do on their work computers, despite the warnings about monitoring. I have access to various information, and I know many personal details about my colleagues, but I never use this knowledge to harm anyone. Sometimes I'm just scared by how many secrets I've learned. When I was 15, my parents were going through a divorce and my sister, and I often stayed alone with our stepfather. He was strict and sometimes overly so. It was a difficult time for both of us. But over time, things got better, and I hope such situations won't repeat themselves. When I was a student, I started pretending that I was from Australia. All my friends, including my girlfriend, believe in this fictional story. I realize that one day the truth will come out, but I'm afraid to admit to them that I've been playing a role all this time. When I was a teenager, I was badly deceived by friends, and it took me a long time to regain trust in people. This greatly affected my self-esteem and still hinders me from building relationships to this day. But over time, I hope to learn to trust again. Another incident I remember happened when I was 19 years old. I was in a group of friends, and we often spent time together. One day, I accidentally discovered that one of my close friends, whom I had known for several years, was hiding important information about his life from me. I was shocked and disappointed, but I decided not to bring up the topic. Now I understand that everyone has the right to their secrets and personal space, and sometimes it's better not to know everything. Another story happened when I started my first job. I was young and inexperienced, and it was difficult for me to cope with the pressure. One day, I made a serious mistake that could have cost the company a lot of money. I was terrified, but I decided to confess to my boss. Fortunately, he turned out to be an understanding person and helped me handle the situation. This incident taught me that mistakes are part of life, and it's important to acknowledge and correct them. In each of our lives, different situations occur that can leave a deep mark on our souls. Sometimes these are unpleasant moments that are difficult to live through or even remember. However, it's important to understand that life isn't made up solely of positive moments. It's the challenges and trials that help us grow, teach us to be resilient and adaptable. They shape our character and teach us to cope with any challenges. Psychologist Jean-Marie Dupont believes that a person's ability to cope with difficulties depends on their inner resilience and ability to adapt to changes. In every difficult situation a person faces, it's important to find a balance between emotional response and rational thinking. Only then can we overcome difficulties and emerge stronger, says Dupont. He also emphasizes the importance of not being afraid to seek help when the situation seems unbearable. Talking to a close person or a specialist can help understand your feelings and find a way out of a seemingly hopeless situation. Ultimately, life is a journey filled with ups and downs. It's important to remember that every obstacle is an opportunity to become better, wiser, and stronger. And although sometimes it seems that we won't be able to cope with the next challenge, it's in those moments that our true strength is revealed.